Another side effect that you get is hearing protection, right? Because whereas when we got into those cyclical, I want this louder, now I want this louder, now I want this louder, it was easy to very quickly exceed 90, 100 dB.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why a lot of musicians are deaf, sadly, as they get older, which is the worst thing that can happen to a musician. So it's nice that not only can we do quieter levels, because you're not working over anything, but also the custom molded IEMs especially tend to create a seal, which is actually effective for hearing protection.
And a lot of them are also available with like these small ambience channels, which you can plug completely close, being completely closed. And you have sometimes the opportunity to put in some filters that you say, all right, the outer noises are reduced by 15 or 20 dBs or something like that. So,
so you can let some of it in, you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So some of the companies making custom molds are offering this. Some don't. Just if you have the feeling that isolation could be an issue, maybe this is something to have an eye on. One thing I really would like to point out on this topic is that I really recommend to use 2 earplugs every time. Not like sometimes people feel isolated or want to talk to each other or whatever and just pulling out one and then starting playing the next song. And what happens is like you're going to fight the noises and the volume like being around in the room with the volume of your in-ear pack. And so this can really damage the one ear you're using the in-ear system on, because you don't get on which volume you are.
Yeah, it's hard to recognize how loud it actually is. Yeah. Because when you're in the moment performing, your first priority tends to be, can I hear everything I need to? No matter how loud, I need to turn this up in order for that to be the case.
Yeah.
So when you have them both in, that's one benefit, is that you have a control over your whole mix as a whole just on your belt pack, right?
Yeah, sure.
But then if you take one out and you're trying to battle all this noise, you may turn this one up without knowing how loud it actually gets. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point.
It's not. Yeah, you're possibly like hurting your ears without knowing.
Yes.
And this is so. As good as in-ears are, there are also some things to know about it and like being educated on. Yeah, it's really in-ears are really helpful, but you can also make mistakes and hurt yourself.
Yeah, they're a great tool, but it becomes even more important to pay attention to how loud things are when you're that close. So you can really, it's interesting because they can be really helpful in protecting your ears.
Yeah.
But it's also an opportunity to be really dangerous when it comes to hurting your ears, right? Yeah, great point.
So therefore, I recommend to have also a closer look on your gain structure if you use wireless IEMs. If you're sending a low signal into your wireless system, you will need to pump up your volume on your receiving belt pack. And therefore, the possibility for things which can happen in the daily business, like somebody is unplugging a cable where phantom power is on it, and so you have a lot of range, unused headroom above it, to hear this and hurt your ears. But if you send enough signal into your transmitter, so there is just a little headroom left, and so technically it's not possible to exceed this limit.
Yeah, so with a digital system especially, right? Their full scale is full scale, so if your audio peaks are there, the person using the belt pack will turn it down a little bit to utilize the full headroom. And then if there should be a mistake like pulling and phantom powers on,
whatever it is,
it'll only go maybe 3 dB higher than that, or something like that, or 6 dB higher than that. Yeah, great point.
So have a look on gain staging with your stereo signal coming out of the mixer, going into the transmitter, going into your ears. So this is also a really crucial part of dealing with the IEMs.